Today on the Bandied Says podcast, we're going to be discussing YouTube's solution for correcting already uploaded videos and a couple of other things, so go ahead and stick around. We are starting with absolutely fantastic news, and that would be that YouTube is going to be allowing you to make corrections to videos that have already been uploaded to the platform. But to give you a bit of backstory, YouTube used to have a feature called annotations, and that is the feature that the majority of people use to make corrections. The way that annotations worked is you would go into the video editor and say add annotation, and then it would pop up a text box on the video. This was incredibly helpful for correcting incorrect information or updating information as new information came out, but YouTube killed this feature a couple of years ago. I'm guessing because it wasn't compatible across all the platforms, and also it was abused so heavily. You would watch videos that had 50,000 annotations at minute 00 and second 01. And the entire video would be 50 annotations. Then you'd have to turn off annotations, and then if you didn't remember to turn them back on, you wouldn't see them for months at a time. So although annotations did serve a purpose and a lot of people found them really useful, YouTube discontinued them, and that meant that if you wanted to make a correction, you would either have to delete your video, make a correction and re-upload it, make a follow-up video and link to it in a card, and hope somebody followed through and clicked on it. You would have to leave a comment and then pin it on your own video, reply to every comment calling you out for being an idiot, or you would have to leave a correction in the description and hope that people actually opened the description, read it, and understood that there was a correction, which never happened. And YouTube is finally rolling out a feature that is kind of an answer to this issue. What is the solution? Put the correction in the description of your video. Yes, seriously. But that's not it, because if that was it, if they just said, hey, just leave the correction in the description, idiot, that would be the worst response ever. There's more to it than just putting the description or putting the correction in the description. There's more to it, so hold your horses. I did that intentionally. If you are watching the video version of this show, you'll see their support article up on screen, which I will also link in the episode notes. But what it says is after you have your chapter timestamps, what you'll do is type correction : or corrections : followed by a timestamp, and then the correction that you want to make, and you can do this multiple times. However, only one card will pop up on your video saying this is a correction. There are corrections on this video. And what will happen if somebody clicks on that correction card on your video? There will be another pop-up with all of the timestamps for corrections. And what will happen if somebody clicks on one of the timestamps that you have made a correction for? Your description will pop up and somebody will see it. They will be able to read the correction that you have made. And that is the whole feature, putting a single card in a video and opening up your description. Is it the best solution to the issue? No, but I think it's a fairly good compromise. I loved annotations, but they were ugly and they were abused too much. So why am I saying this is a good compromise, even if I don't think it's the best solution? What I would like to have is the ability to upload corrected portions to your video, and that new corrected video is what is displayed. And it doesn't kill any of your comments, it doesn't remove any engagement, it doesn't remove views. That's what I would want. But why do I understand. I understand why that's not a thing. Because people would abuse that immediately. There would be a video of a cat just purring and people would say, hey, great video. This is a wonderful video. And then one person would think this is going to be hilarious. They would change that video to some kind of speech of Hitler. And now some person left a comment on Hitler saying, hey, great video. And that person would look stupid. So I understand completely why YouTube doesn't have this, but that's what I would want because I wouldn't abuse it, or I would like to think I wouldn't abuse it. So although that's the feature that I would want to see, I understand completely why YouTube is unable to do that. And I think the compromise is we are able to add our corrections in the description. We can be as in-depth as we want. And YouTube's solution is, hey, we will draw people's attention to the correction and link to it and open up the description for the individual who wants to see the correction. Because what is one of the biggest issues with putting anything in your video's description? Nobody clicks on it, nobody opens it, and what does that mean? Nobody reads anything you put in the description. If you use YouTube at all and look at the comments, it's exactly why you see so many content creators put all of their advertisement links in a pinned comment, because they know and the advertisers know that people do not read the description. They are much more likely to see the pinned comment in the comments section. So that is why you also see a number of creators include their corrections in a pinned comment. They'll do corrections, they'll do affiliate links, they'll put their advertising code, they'll do any sort of thing. Also, I want to point out that I think it's smart that YouTube has made the decision to only pop up a correction tab or pop-up or card for the first correction, because I can imagine this being abused, because from the sample that I saw, it's a bright red card, and I can see people abusing that immediately. Every 10 seconds, correction, correction, correction. Open up the description. Here's an affiliate link. By only doing it once, that will probably limit the abuse of this new feature. And I think that it is a good compromise. So how does this affect you as a content creator? I think it is a huge net positive, because hopefully it will decrease the amount of redundant work that you have to do. You may have had to respond to 50 comments of people calling you out saying, "You stupid idiot, how can you be so dumb and mess up so bad?" And that would be because information became outdated. With this, you don't have to reply to all of them. You might still want to leave that pinned comment saying, "Correction, click on my affiliate links. Here are my advertisers. Use all of them." Like so many people do. I really should think about putting ads in my videos. I have foregone so much money by not doing host-read ads. Anyway, you could still put the pinned comment, but now there will be a bright red card in the upper right-hand corner saying, "Correction, correction, correction," drawing people's attention to the correction that you've made in the description, and you can be thorough, and hopefully that will limit the amount of people who leave you angry comments calling you a stupid, stupid idiot for not being able to tell the feature, the feature being able to tell the future and know what future firmware upgrades there would be and what features would be available in the future. Was that confusing? Because I think I said you won't be able to tell the future and know what features will be available. Futures and features are very similar words. I think I pronounced them correctly. If I didn't, that's going to be very confusing, but I think you all know what I meant. If you want to know more, I will link the YouTube support article in the episode notes, and I will also include the Creator Insider video in case you want to watch them discuss it for a minute, I think. That's all the news. Now I normally do what I've been testing, but I want to jump to what you had to say because there's a lot of good information here. The first comment comes from Eldest, and he says, "As far as the issue with interference on the laptop goes, I don't know the exact spec of that laptop, but if it has a 20 series NVIDIA graphics card, they are known to cause significant interference issues even on their desktop versions of the cards. I ran into this issue when I first got my 2060 card, and I found a powered USB hub solved most of my issues." Then there were two replies. The first one from Frozen, they said, "You could try a powered USB hub, might reduce noise coming into your interface via the power delivery." And the second reply is from Pecornsit Poungtu. I don't know what I said, sorry. They say, "Powered USB hub has solved my hiss issues on both the input and output from the UMC 202 when connected to laptops, especially when the laptops are plugged into power. I just found that powered USB has solved many issues for me." The second comment comes from King Kebab, and he says, regarding audio interference when gaming, I have an Audient Evo 4 interface that is extremely sensitive to EMF, and if I place the interface next to my PC and put it under load, I will get audio interference. Moving the interface more than 2 feet away from the PC removes it. I also can't have my cell phone near the interface either. Hope this helps. Then we have another comment about interference, this time from Martin Rothwell. He says, just listening to the interference or noise issues, I completely agree with your approach to disconnecting everything and reconnecting things one by one until the problem reappears. I had a similar issue years ago, and it transpired to be the laptop's power supply. HP machine, and I think the power supply was branded Delta Electronics, don't quote me. The problem went away when I went on to battery power. I later replaced the power supply and never had the issue again. We have another comment about the noise. This is from Only My Opinion Tech. They say, the noise in his system sounded like a PWM dimmer on an LED light. They use pulse width modulation to dim LED lights. It's very efficient, but can be very noisy. If you have any LED lighting, try turning it off. If that removes the noise, you can try ferrite chokes on the wires going into your gaming console or get new lights. And the final comment we have on this issue comes from JavaMan, and he says, regarding noise, be very, very wary of cheapy USB power adapters anywhere near your gear or shared AC power outlet. Stick with OEM power and charging adapters. These can be very noisy. It also looks like you're tight on space, but you might declutter a bit. There is my 2 cents. And there you have it. That concludes the marathon of what you had to say, the marathon of suggestions, the marathon of troubleshooting. I think it's amazing how much feedback and how many suggestions were given, because I don't know what I'm doing with EMI. I don't have to deal with that too much. So being able to call on all of you when I don't know what I'm talking about and get so much great feedback is awesome. And I really, truly hope this solves the problem for the voice submission last week. I would love to know in the comments if any of this helped, what the issue was, and what resolved it, because this is going to continue to be an issue for people, and I would love to be able to be well informed about what caused the issue and what the solution was. All right, that is it for what you had to say. Thank you so much, JavaMan, Only My Opinion Tech, Martin Rothwell, King Kebab, Pakornsit Paungto, I apologize for butchering your name, Frozen, and Eldest. Thank you very much. Now let us jump back in time and do something we typically do earlier on the episode, and that would be what I've been testing, and I am going to say the thing. You have been listening to it. You have been listening to... I don't have a voice change or anything. I'm not feeling it today. I'm not feeling it. And I'm doing 3 things. You are listening to 3 different things today. First, Manley reference Cardioid. Second, Warm Audio WA73 EQ. Third, Tascam Mixcast 4. Bunch of things I'm going to be reviewing. Let's start with the reference Cardioid. I understand why people like this microphone. The tone of it, the sound of it, very clear, very modern. You still can get a bit of that warmth if you get close to it, and it's just a really cool sounding microphone. I understand the appeal. However, it might be the noisiest microphone I have ever used. They don't publish self-noise, so I don't know if it's within spec, but this came back from Manley after being repaired, so you would assume fully functioning, meets their criteria, and that leads me to believe probably the loudest condenser microphone I've ever used. Yes, it is a tube mic, so it's inherently going to be noisier, but it's brutal. It's got to be at least 2 times louder than the AT2020, and the AT2020 has a self-noise of 20 dBA. I think what I'm going to do, I was thinking about this. People whine about the SM7B being super noisy. I want to see if the self-noise of this matches up to the preamp noise that is inherent with the SM7B. It just might be. It's that noisy. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. I don't think I am. I've let people hear it. It's mind-boggling how noisy it is. So that's the first thing. I understand why people like it. The tone of it, really cool. Then the Warm Audio 73 EQ. Let me hide my knees. You're not allowed to see that. Don't look at that, you weirdos. The WA73 EQ. I'm kind of wasting it. I'm not really driving it too hard, and I don't have any EQ on, so don't take this as any real indication of how it performs. I really just wanted to try line level on the Mixcast 4. And for my microphone, I don't have much. I have a 60 hertz high pass filter, a noise gate attenuating by 5 dB, and then a compressor. You all know what settings I'm going to mimic with my manual compressor settings. Say it with me. The LA 2A. What a shocker. That's what my compressor settings are mimicking. I won't do any post-processing on my computer. I want to get exactly what you get off of here. I will be trying the Tascam podcast editor because I looked it up. It actually allows you to level your audio to a LUFS level. So I typically use Auphonic. Not this time. I'm going to use Tascam's podcast editor to export my audio at -16 LUFS stereo. Yes, because there will be music files there. So -16 LUFS stereo. And there you have it. I don't have anything else. I didn't pull any questions for the Ask Bandrew segment because I've been feeling a bit lazy. It's been a heat wave. It's been super hot. Wipes me out. Whoops my butt. You may be thinking, Bandrew, why are you wearing your hoodie? Shut up. I told you I sacrifice for the art, and I'm wearing really short shorts. Don't look for them. It's really weird. I'm so used to wearing jeans all the time. All year round. In my mind, I'm living at the beach right now. If I didn't have this image to uphold, I would be wearing my short shorts and a Hawaiian shirt with a straw hat, drinking a virgin pina colada. Anyway, I do have a movie of the week. The movie of the week is from 2011. It is a film called Hugo. This is a Martin Scorsese movie. And if you are watching the video, you're probably asking yourself, why is there a little dude and a little girl on the cover of a Martin Scorsese Blu-ray? Do they turn into Joe Pesci and start beating people with baseball bats and shooting them in the trunk? No, they do not. I was actually shocked to learn this was a Martin Scorsese movie, which I only learned as the credits rolled after I finished watching it and finished enjoying it. This is a movie about a boy who lives in a French train station and takes care of and winds the clocks. And there it is. Bandrew, the weirdo who likes watches too much and thinks it's okay to spend money on them. There it is. It's a movie about clocks. Of course he's gonna like it, the weirdo. I would be lying if I didn't say that contributed to it. Totally enjoyed that bit of it. But it's about a boy trying to find answers to a traumatic event, traumatic experience. He lives with his uncle in the train station, taking care of the clocks. He ends up stealing stuff from the toy shop at the train station and working to fix an automaton, which is a character that has a clockwork within it. Really cool. I had to go put on my mechanical watch because watching this just made me appreciate all that a little bit more. So I totally went and got my mechanical watch because I was wearing my G-Shock when I was watching this. and before I was recording this, but I had to go grab a mechanical watch to put on. But he's working to fix an automaton, and I don't want to say anything more because going in, not knowing anything about it, just makes it more enjoyable. There's not a bunch of twists and turns, and it's not an M. Night, it's not Signs. Did Signs have, I guess Signs had a little bit of a twist. The Sixth Sense is what I was thinking of. You know, I think I am going to do I am definitely going to do de-essing on this microphone, because if I'm not mistaken, it needs, actually, no. I want to hear how the microphone sounds even without de-essing. It's going to be shocking to everybody, because even on the SM7B, for my podcast, I use a de-esser. So nobody is used to hearing these many S's from me. I'm getting way off track. Go watch it. If you're looking for a magical movie, it has Chloe Grace Moretz, I think. It also has, this is weird, it has Sacha Baron Cohen. Bara Cohen? It has Borat in it. But he's great. He's really great in this. I really enjoyed him in this. This may be, I don't want to say it's my favorite, Scorsese movie, because his mafia movies are just so good. But it's magical, it's pure escapism. Watch it if that sounds good to you. Really worth a watch. Really enjoyable. That's it. That's all that I've got. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what you thought of this audio. Completely different signal path. I'm doing Manley reference Cardioid, very bright microphone, into a 73 EQ. You know, I should have attenuated some of the highs a little bit. Then line into the Mixcast 4 with a touch of a high pass and a touch of noise reduction, a touch of a gate, and then a touch of compression. More than a touch of compression. That's it. I love you. Have an amazing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next time I will talk to you. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye. Boop.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer is Bandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.